I'm Ophelia.
And this is our guest, Evie.
Hello.
No, I'm sorry. What is your name?
My name is Matt Barry.
And our banners are opposite. In case you can't figure it out, I'm Ophelia. And that's
is
Matt Barry
Barry.
who sucks.
Yeah.
Anywho, hello. Good evening. I don't know if you all know this. Probably not if you're not from Massachusetts. But tonight is Xmortis night, which is this goth club that runs in our town, and it's awesome. So this is the pregame, essentially, for Xmortis tonight. If you are in the Massachusetts area and you see us,
Come stalk us.
yeah, no.
My license plate number is 8W.
No. Don't stalk us. Just come say hi, because we're really not bitchy in person or something.
And they're strict. They're not going to let him in with that. So
No, I'm the
You're
gothiest
okay.
person
You have
here,
to
right?
talk into the microphone.
I'm talking into the microphone.
Yeah,
Is he close enough to the
yeah,
microphone?
he's fine.
I
He's
can
fine.
hear.
Do you
I
know
have
how to
the
use a
headphones
microphone?
on.
Have you
Yeah.
ever used a
Oh my
microphone
god.
before?
I'm going to slap
Okay.
both of you. I'm going to Three Stooges your heads together.
Okay,
Don't
just
do
wait.
that. I'm wearing headphones. It'll knock her right out.
It-
I won't
it'll
feel
feel-
anything.
it'll be really
It'll
funny.
feel better than the spiky cuffs you put on me earlier and are going to put back on in a second.
It
Oh,
was
they were
dude,
kind of fun.
look.
It was
see?
Look, I
super
get
hot.
scrapies.
Yeah.
Right, Bone
yeah.
City.
Yeah, we can. They're over there. We could put them back
We'll
on.
talk about
Yeah.
it later.
Do you
Okay.
want to do that?
Scorch,
Let's
you
do
can
that
bring that over at
instead
some
of the
point.
show.
No, be quiet. You read a romance novel to be here, buddy.
Yeah.
So you're going to fucking talk about it.
I'm
Oh, he's
certainly
definitely
gonna
talking
talk
about
about
the
it.
bride and
Anywho,
brat. Oh,
Gentlefolk, listeners, this week reread two different things. Again, this is literally the second time this has happened because we're lushes. Anyway, we did both read something by Fawn Desmond, who is a self-professed author of scatological romance.
and they are part of the same series, The Hot Seat.
Yes, the hot seat. The hot seat.
And the
anyway,
in case you
let me
didn't
just tell
know,
you. Oh, yes, go
the
ahead.
hot seat is the toilet.
Anyway,
Thanks, Captain
let me tell
Obvious.
you guys just a little bit about Ms. Fawn Desmond, whose biography picture on Amazon is just an eye with makeup. So like one of those fat chick profile pics, you know. Anyway, Fawn Desmond, a writer of weird, fun, and nasty hot fiction who believes imagination is the true aphrodisiac and that erotica is best served well-written, tight, and phantasmagasmic. Follow Fawn Desmond XXX and drop your hot thoughts to fawndesmond@gmail.com.
Phantasmagasmic is a damn good band name, and I found in
What, for,
reading
like, a
this
jam
that she
band?
uses a lot of good band names in her prose. I
I
think.
really am looking forward to this angle of yours.
Yeah, I've highlighted a few of them.
I highlighted a bunch of shit. And also, okay.
I bet you half of it's band names. You don't know it yet, but
We'll,
they are.
we'll go over it. We'll go over it. We'll have like a submission at the end. We'll be like, what would be a good band name? And then we can all vote on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. So, going back to the fact that dear Ophelia and I have read two different books.
Again.
Ophelia has read The Hot Seat, Bride in Brown.
Do you have artwork for the hot seat, cover art for the hot seat, Bride and Brown? If we could find that, that would be great.
You two are just closer than peas in a pod. I'll tell you that.
We're buddies.
No, move over. You're too close. You
All right.
Canadian, you.
I
Who
thought
let
he was
you
from
here?
South Africa.
Oh, but look, there's a.
Yeah,
He's
we want to
just
thank you for
us.
making the long drive down. I know it was a
Oh.
long way.
No problem, eh?
Her boyfriend that
Don't
lives
worry
in
about it.
Canada.
That Avenue Q.
Yes. Anyway, yes, The Bride in Brown. It's
It's that one with the
no,
the
it's the one
bride
with
on the shitter.
The Bride on the Shitter.
This one?
Yes.
This never happens in the book,
Okay.
by the way. She's never in the dress.
So, for audio listeners, while this happens, I'm on Fawn Desmond's Twitter right now. She has a lot of Tumblr links, which won't open for me because I don't use Tumblr. But some of the users she's retweeting are I Lick Farts, Daddy's Little
Love
Fuck
that guy.
Slut, Scat Princess.
Oh.
Oh, and then Adam Gopnik on Darwin's brilliant strategy for preempting criticism and the true mark of genius.
I want to slap
And then that
dude.
goes back to the hot seat.
It's weird that Daddy's Little Fuck Slut was the most normal one on
Yeah.
the list.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that one's not too bad.
Yeah.
And then we kept rolling,
It
and I was
sounds like a cool
ooh.
lady.
Yeah.
Dude, that was my old gamer tag.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they made me change it. I don't know why. Kink shaming.
Okay, I think that was it for the Tumblr porn retweets.
Okay, anyway, as you can see, dear listeners, on the screen, the bride in brown. So for those audio listeners, it's literally a bride with her wedding dress hiked up around her
It's
thighs
scat
on a
porn.
toilet.
Scat porn.
It's scatological romance. Will you please use the scientific
Do you
term?
know? I learned the word scat in 6th grade at our Girl Scout camp,
Yeah, I learned it in a biological setting as well.
and I
Also
never,
in jazz.
Who could have predicted?
that's
this
what I
is-
was hoping when I heard we were doing scat books. I
Dude,
hope
you
it
were
was
like,
Skiddly
I
Bop.
hope it's
Yeah.
like the Scat Man is
Yeah.
the soundtrack to every porno that we watch.
Because that's a sex move I've been wanting to use. Yeah,
What?
exactly.
Dude, who would have ever predicted that eating ass would have became a thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of weird.
It's the hottest
We're
thing
too
in
old for that.
2019.
Didn't we just have this conversation?
Yeah, well, it's a big discussion in
with
the
your
cultural
friends?
zeitgeist right now.
Yeah.
Is ass eating and like the new wave, and it seems like everyone under 25 is eating ass all the time.
Well, I'm glad I'm over 25.
I'm
Just a
not.
little bit.
Yeah. hmm
Yeah.
Says someone who's never gotten their ass eaten.
Anyway,
I am not, and I don't plan on it.
Before
I really don't.
before
plan
we
on it.
drop in to the main topic. Sorry.
I see what you did there. Like poop.
Yeah, right into a toilet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bombs
Glad you're
away.
on board, Matt Berry. Anyway, before we slither out of the intestinal tract,
That
need
might
more
be actual
alliteration.
prose that
it is.
popped
we
up.
need to do our plugs.
yes, we're gonna do our
That's
plugs.
what we're getting to. All right. Ophelia's gonna do the plugs
That's right. That's
because
not
she's
right.
the least drunk person.
all right. Here we go. And also, just
Thanks
as
for-
a side note, Matt Berry,
You
feel
gotta
free to
put the
plug
cuffs
any
on.
of your shit.
Oh yeah.
Any of your shit at
After
the end.
we-
Okay.
After we do our plugs, you can fit
Why
them
don't you
in,
let the guest go first?
But you have under 5
Okay,
seconds.
we're gonna let the guest go
All right.
first.
I'm gonna count.
Yeah, just follow me on Instagram at Matt Berry Sucks. I post about shows there. You know.
What kind of shows? No one knows
I
who
do.
you are.
Oh, I'm a stand-up comedian. I do stand-up comedy shows in the New England area. You know, you can catch me in pretty much any New England state. If you're Vermont, don't go. I don't like Vermont people. Don't bother with that one. But if you're in Maine, I'm at Baxter Brewing next week. But in New Hampshire, I'm in Laconia this weekend. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Word. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks.
All right. Anyway,
Oh my goodness.
thank you for watching Between the Covers podcast.
You're doing great,
In
girl.
case you didn't know what you were watching, I don't. Please like, share,
Wait a minute. You read this?
subscribe.
I thought you memorized this.
I've memorized it.
You see what I'm
Our
dealing with,
fan.
Matt Berry? Good God.
We go live on YouTube every Friday at 8 p.m. and when we're out to all major podcasting apps 2 days later. Please check out the Bastard Network. Go like and follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/thebastard. Or edit this out, Scorch.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that. Hey, Nix, you want to take over there?
Yeah.
Facebook.com/thebastardnet. We have several awesome shows on the roster, which include.
I can
Between
do
the
this
Cover
part.
Pro-
I want to do this part. We got Between the Covers podcast. We got the STC podcast. We got the Elliot from Boston podcast. We got Black Collar TV, which is a bunch of mini
Skipped
shows.
right over
And
Bastard
absolutely
Sermon.
do not
We
forget
got
the
Bastard Sermon too. I'm doing it from memory. I'm not reading it. What Would Jesus Do podcast? That one's on there too.
Anyway, several more shows will be added within the next few months, so definitely be sure to stay tuned and join in our conversations on Facebook
And
and
I
social
have
media.
this sick shirt that I designed. It is
Does it say Anal Queen on it?
not that one. It has a sword.
So does the one that says Anal Queen. Anal Queen is literally just a sword, and
And
the
it
words
says Anal
Anal
Queen.
Queen.
So I
Put
have
that
two
in the
with
book of
swords.
merch ideas and keep that. You
That's
know.
been in the book of
One
my fucking ideas
sword.
forever.
Oh, okay.
Above it, it says "Buried to the Hilt."
Right, yep.
In runic looking script. It's not actually.
Oh, good,
It's
so we
in,
can look
it's
like
Roman
fucking
numerals
Yamster.
made to look like
kidding.
Roman script. What?
I was just kidding.
And I have this other one, and I can't remember what it is right now. But it's not the anal. And then there's the Anal Queen.
Yep.
And then there's the other one that says Ophelia in the streets, Nix in
Nicks
the
in the
sheets.
sheets. I like that one.
Yeah. So,
Coffee.
and they're on their way.
Yeah, that's a great one, by the
Sorry,
way.
I moved away from the mic for that one.
Just
That
like
was an
Chocolate
epic
Rain.
one.
What?
What? Never mind.
Chocolate rain? Did that happen in one of the stories?
Well, some
In-
stay dry and others feel the pain.
in Chocolate Rain in the video, he has to turn away to breathe, and it just looks really bizarre, and that's kind of...
But like it
Chocolate
flashes
Rain?
up on the screen. It's like this dude who recorded his own song
Oh,
called
this
Chocolate
isn't a
Rain.
poop thing. I know it like kind of ties in with the theme, but this is a complete non sequitur. This isn't tied in with the poop thing, despite sounding very appropriate.
Why did you have to tell her? It was funnier.
Scorch,
okay.
we need.
I should have just been like, I'll show
split
you Chocolate
cameras,
Rain
Scorch.
later.
Scorch, stop making out back there. Scorch, and do the split camera.
Yeah,
please.
stop making
He
out
was
back there.
talking,
Hey,
and it
Start
was
making
her
out up here.
Mug on the screen. While
Ophelia.
I'm just kidding. You're
Wait.
gorgeous.
Anyway, let's talk about the goddamn
Yeah, that's what I
books.
thought.
All right, we'll keep it at the split screen.
So anyway,
Scorch.
Ophelia and Leafy, aka Matt Berry, have read The Bride and Brown. So why don't you guys elaborate a little bit on that?
I almost threw up.
Good.
Like a
High
few
five.
times. Like I watched this show. I'm somewhat familiar with what you guys have read.
You watched the show?
This show
Our-
between the
our
covers.
show. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I thought you
He's
were referring
No,
to a
there's not.
scatological romance
Oh
show.
no! Oh, trust
Did
me.
you
If I
start
could
with
have
the chic
Hulu'd this
one?
and avoided reading, I would have totally done that. But so I've watched a lot of episodes of this show, and based on what you guys have talked about, I would have rather read anything else. It's very.
Okay.
It starts right away. They mention. I don't know
Oh,
how
yeah.
yours went. They mentioned poop in the first paragraph.
Oh shit.
But yeah, so
Literally.
the premise of this one is what's her name? Oh, it's right here. It's
Leah.
Leah and her soon-to-be husband Malcolm. They're on based on the context, they seem to be in a hotel
Okay.
that is going to host their wedding in the coming days. It must be some sort of destination because they're staying in the hotel.
Mhm.
They're doing rehearsal dinners, and their
Their
whole
families are
families
there.
are
Their
kind of
friends are
at
there.
the hotel.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Malcolm has clogged the toilet.
Oh no.
We later find out that Leah booby-trapped the toilet to like sabotage, to get it to
Wait
be
a minute,
clogged.
I don't
Sabotaged
remember
it to
this.
be stopped up.
Yeah, and so because she wants to get down with this poop, and so he like clogs it up and he's gotta leave. And he's like, oh, I gotta go. It's said he's either playing golf or getting drinks with their parents or possibly his buddies or a guy named Jeremy. It's never explained who Jeremy is.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Malcolm leaves. Malcolm never comes back. Malcolm's never
The husband to be just sort of
yeah, the writer does
evaporates.
not follow the rule of Chekhov's Malcolm, which
he
is
dries
that,
away. He
yeah,
dries up.
if you introduce Malcolm in the third act, you'd think that if you introduce him in the first act, the third act, he's discovering the poop. Because as soon as Malcolm leaves, she's looking at this toilet full of poop, and she's like, "Fuck yeah!" And
Right.
then the rest of the book is her sort of hanging out in the hotel room while
Bathroom.
Malcolm's out busy, and he'll like text being like, "Oh, can't come back yet," and she's like, "Great, now I can do more weird
Well,
poop
he's like
stuff."
out golfing with her dad and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that, his best man and her dad and his
Is
dad,
Jeremy
they're
the
all hanging
best
out.
man? Because they
Jeremy's
mention
the
a
best
Jeremy,
man.
and
Yeah, and then so they're all the wedding parties all together. All the guys are out. So she's in there alone. And what do you do when you're alone in a hotel room?
With a clogged toilet.
You either find the clogged toilet and work with what you have, or you clog it yourself after and work with what comes out of you.
Oh, so she
then you-
didn't sabotage it so that he would shit in it.
She did.
she
so
did.
She
She was
collected
into
his.
his shit. She kind of mentions it for a while that she's way into shit. He doesn't know
Okay.
about the shit thing.
Okay, got it. Got
Yeah.
It, got it.
They're
Um,
about to get
does
married.
Does he leave before shitting or after?
he shits and the toilet's messed up, and
And
he's
he's
like, "I'm
like,
gonna call
"Oh,
the guy,"
no.
and she's like, "I'll call the guy. Don't worry
Do
about
you
it."
have to tell your
Wink,
husband
wink.
before you get married that you have a poop fetish? Or do you have to keep that secret?
She thinks you should keep it secret, but she does plan on shitting herself before she walks down the aisle. She makes a point of saying that she loves
yeah, she
shit.
needs
It's like
a
her
little.
main thing.
So
she needs
can I
to be a
ask
little brown because the
something
pure
really
white
quickly?
is just not. Yeah.
Okay. Was there a lot of like weird metaphorical speak about like winds rushing inside?
There was. There
Yes.
was a lot of
The
hot
brown
winds
wind.
hitting
There's
her
the
pussy.
upper wind,
Yeah.
Yes,
the lower
okay,
wind.
all
Yeah,
right.
brown winds
There
for
was
sure.
wind, there
The
was-
brown winds were there a lot. I've noticed she
Okay.
describes stuff as soup a lot, which is arguably the least sexy term in the world.
Ooh, baby, I love it
Soup,
when you're all
but
soupy.
Do you think
Yeah.
swampy is worse than
Swamp was
soupy?
in there a lot. Soup and swamp.
Okay.
But you
but
can get swass from fucking.
I need
so
to-
it could be sexy swass.
I
It
need
could
to
be.
clarify the winds because it's actually not farts.
No, I know. It's inside of her. It's
a
like
wind.
a feeling
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
okay.
she
Because
has.
I was thinking it was going to be the
no,
fart,
no,
but
no.
it wasn't.
I think it's supposed to be related. I think she chose that imagery specifically
okay, so it's like the
because
fart
it has to do
gas
with
as it
passing
travels
wind.
through.
Okay.
You know what I
everything.
mean?
Yeah. You know what? This book's better than I thought. I didn't know it was operating on that creative level.
I mean, this is just speculation, but I could be giving too much
Scorch,
credit.
are you giggling?
No,
Okay.
Dirty Mike is fucking giggling.
I heard giggling.
Dirty Mike likes the show.
Dirty
Leave him
Mike.
alone.
We have Dirty Mike on the peanut gallery, right?
Yeah, Dirty.
That's
you
right.
Feel
Mike.
free to
We
add
just we had just
commentary.
pre-taped a STC podcast for
Yeah, so
Gangfest weekend.
definitely do
We
stuff
just-
about that. Like, watch the STC podcast next week.
Oh, the STC podcast. Oh wait, we already did our.
Yeah, we
plugs.
did our plugs, honey. It's okay.
All right, so don't watch the
You should
STC
watch the
podcast.
STC
Do not watch
podcast,
it.
though.
Did you?
I didn't know, but it's. I just met that guy. Like it's. I'm gonna watch it now. I didn't know him before that. He's super cool.
He's claiming ignorance. It's
Yeah.
okay. I guess a South African Canadian can do that.
Yeah.
How does that work?
I
Where's
don't
your
Well-
know.
passport?
I don't know.
Should
in
we call the
Canada.
deportation office?
I'm calling ICE. That's it.
Oh no.
Not again.
Okay. Anyway, so this bitch in a wedding dress is like
So
pooping.
So
she-
this is the thing. She's not in the wedding dress.
No,
I
the
feel
Let me
dress
ask
is
you this
there,
because I'm
though.
interesting. In your stories, were the protagonists always like hagging it up? Because at the beginning, she's just laying around in sweatpants. Like she's
No.
not being sexy at all.
No.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely not. It's in fact almost the opposite. It's like 2/3 the opposite.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She mentions in this book at one point she's looking at the wedding dress on the bed and she's like, I just want to shit all over that, but she doesn't do it. Like it's
Aw,
never.
What a pussy.
There's a lot of setting stuff up that never comes around, like the Malcolm thing, the wanting to shit. Why do you're just showing me the highlighted phrase "creamy doo doo butter smear," which by the way,
Whoa,
another
whoa,
good
whoa,
band
whoa.
name.
Really? I wouldn't listen to Creamy Doo Doo Butter Smear. You know why? That sounds like hipster garbage.
No, it sounds like
I like
ska.
hipster garbage.
Well, then you're a garbage
Mm.
hipster. I don't know.
He likes hipster garbage, like my sister.
Oh my god.
But you also
Wait,
like a lot
shh,
of really good
stop
stuff.
When
it.
she says
I
I
just-
like hipster garbage like her sister, she means like the music her sister likes, not like her sister is the hipster garbage that I'm liking.
I've met her sister.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
aware of what was meant by that phrase. Don't worry. Listen, this is fucking disgusting.
I'm
You
a-
didn't highlight this shit. It says here she slopped the messy mound onto her wet pussy, massaging
Oh
it in
yeah,
and over,
it's the
making a mushy swamp of piss and shit and sex juice.
yeah
Where did
yeah.
this
That's
come
another good band
Was
name.
this here?
Yeah, that was there. It's been there.
Excuse me.
Piss and shit and sex juice.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would listen to
you'd
that.
see them.
Fuck yeah, dude. They're probably
I'd
like
see them
some sort
tonight.
of like fucking weird black metal project.
Yeah.
This was on our table. What? This stuff. That's not ours.
It
was
had
in
the
the
list
way.
of all the shows on the network, which
All
would
right.
have been handy.
So I want
Oh.
to talk about the 3 books that I read at some point.
All right.
Yeah. So what did you read?
Doing
Because
this
at the
again.
end of ours, there was like advertisements for all the other poop books, which
Okay,
All right,
wait,
can
there's
I
a lot.
please just read the descriptions of all the other poop books that are at the end
Let's
of this
get
book?
to these
because
ones
it's
first.
Really
We'll do
good.
the 3 that
Wait,
Nick's read,
How
and
about
then
how about this? You can read the description for the book that I read, and then I'll talk about it.
yeah,
and
Okay.
we can do it
yeah.
like that. So the first one
Dirty Brown Business.
was Dirty Brown Business.
All right. Dina Lawrence had a secret, a dirty brown secret. You know the one where you sneak into the men's room and pleasure yourself while enjoying the fruits of other people's toilet labors? And she was having such a great time clandestinely indulging in her fantasy at the office.
Pulling out the thesaurus.
That
here.
is until Miles, a hot janitor, catches her. Now all of a sudden they both find themselves dreaming of the other covered in filthy filth and having a gay old time. Will Dina and Miles act on these nasty erotic reveries?
Wait, does it really say gay old time?
Gay old time, old time. Will Dina and Miles act on these nasty erotic reveries? Will they succumb to this strange new dung lust? Will they get down to some dirty brown business?
Dung
Question
lust
mark.
comes up a lot.
So I will go ahead and say I can confirm they do get down to dirty brown business. I would just like to point out that I found this having read 3 of these, and I'm sure that this will ring true for you as well.
Yeah,
and the one you've
I'm
read.
interested with this.
I have noticed that the first paragraph or 2 is usually fairly well written and very environmentally descriptive. So it like sets a scene. It's like, oh, this thing is happening, and like, you know, for instance, Dina Lawrence stirred the cream into her coffee, shoved the last bite of a carrot muffin into her mouth, picked up the piece of paper and roll of tape she'd rested on the counter, and stepped out of the break room. "Any strawberry rhubarb left?" the voice from behind her said. Like, it's
Yeah.
normal.
Ours
That's
was the
fine.
same. Ours
It's like
started in the
so
hotel like
vanilla.
that. Yeah.
It's just like,
she-
some stuff is happening, and then literally, I shit you not, like part of the way down,
I
some
shit
dude.
you not.
I know. Some dude surprises her, and she says, "Who? No, please," and it's notated like that, and it's like really weird, and that threw me off.
She's like,
Yeah, okay. There's a better way to like. I don't know. That
It's
just looks
dialect
it's
of
stupid.
someone with stuff
You
stuck in their
can
mouth.
just put what the words actually are and say she
And
had
then
food in her
say
mouth. Like,
she
it'll
she stuttered
Yeah, but
around
she's
her
not
stuffed
saying,
cheeks or
"Will
something
no
like
please,"
that.
or what does it say?
Who?
She's saying,
well,
"Wah,
no,
wah,
well,
wah,
please."
wah.
I don't know what that even is
She's
supposed to
got food in
mean.
her mouth.
Yeah.
It's stupid, and I hate it. Anyway, moving on. So, it's just this bitch who's at work, and then
Look at me.
the next thing I noticed is that this bitch is picking up a thesaurus for sure, and just throwing in words that sort of mean, but not completely contextually mean what
Yeah.
she's trying to say.
Yeah, because you were saying this earlier, is that she calls things, she said that she's pissing out of her vagina, which I learned today doesn't actually happen.
Well, no, because the urethra doesn't run through the vagina.
Told
I
you-
didn't know that.
told
I
you
didn't
he
know that.
know the vagina is the tube, and then the vulva is the outer. He thought the whole
Dude,
thing
you're
was
being judged by the peanut gallery like
They both just
hard
popped
right
up.
now.
I've never seen one pee before. I didn't know.
Okay, but like, you know
Have you ever
how-
ate box before?
You know how pee?
Yeah, but there was no pee
Well, oh wait,
there at
wait,
the
wait,
time.
wait, hang on. You know what? The only way I'll give him a credit is first of all,
He's eating box.
wait, did you go to public school?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll give him a pass on that first. Second, and more importantly, it's very rare, and I'm just assuming from my own experiences that you bitches like actually like give us a moment to sit there and like inspect your goods like in some good lighting. So for sure, he probably wasn't
Yeah,
able to
if
sit
you're
there and
doing
look.
that, you come off like a psychopath.
You know what I mean? I'm sure he wasn't able
Just
to
being
like
like-
sit. When's the last time you sat there and spread gash and let him like take a good look and go like, okay, cool.
Scorch, are you on the mic right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, I'm on mic.
All right, keep
I'm
going.
a fucking professional. Okay.
You're fucking.
I'm a fucking professional.
Is that
Scorch, I'm gonna need a refill over here pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay,
me
I'll
too,
get
Scorch.
that. Oh, okay. I guess I'm just your drink bitch
you
now.
per
Fuck
fucking
you.
professional?
I was your drink bitch all through your podcast, so
I know.
please
I know.
return
Oh.
the favor.
I know. I'm just
Huh.
giving you shit.
If Scorch is getting drinks, though, who's going to make the show?
Oh no, it's cool. I'll
fine.
leave it.
Um,
I'll leave it at the 2-shot that Easgard is trying to tell me how to produce. I'm
It's 'cause
sorry
she
that
can't
Ophelia's trying
stand
to tell me how to
when, like,
produce.
other-
Excuse me.
See, Ophelia, here's the thing. See, if one of
We've
you
gotten so far
if one
off
of you's
track.
making a long-winded point, right? I'll go to this camera and then like and then you'll talk and you'll talk and then I'll switch to get reactions
It's a
and stuff.
17-page story.
Yeah, but I read 3
So
of
you
them,
read
bitch.
3 of them. We read 1. So far, we've been introduced to Dina, Miles, Leah, and Malcolm. In the rest of the stories, does she keep killing it with the names? She seems to have some pretty good
I can
names.
get the
so
other
far.
names.
Dina and Miles are the ones in the first story. The
Dump,
next one
Dump Trunkin. Dump
No, no, no.
Trunkin is Leslie.
No, Dump Trunkin is not the next one. The next one's Party
Party
Pooper.
Pooper
And
Nina.
it's Nina and James.
All right, Nina loves going to clubs, getting drunk, hanging out in the bathroom stall. What we're gonna do later tonight, right?
Right,
let's
when we
go
take
back to-
selfies and not piss on each other.
Yeah.
Oh, wait,
Let's
anyway.
go
'Cause-
back to Miles and
Yeah,
Lena.
yeah, yeah.
'cause
Wait,
what
Nina
were they
and her
doing?
Need to calm
girlfriends
down,
piss on
girlfriend.
each other.
No.
Girlfriend.
Okay. Can we turn her mic
That was
off?
my-
No, just kidding. No. So what happens? Dude, I don't think you understand how much shit I fucking highlighted. Yes, haha, shit, poop. I get it. How much shit I highlighted in this fucking story. So Dina is just this, average office chick who occasionally will slip into the men's room, put up a fake out of order sign onto the stall that she likes to go to. She'll take her panties off, hang them on the peg. She'll get on the toilet, spread eagle herself, and just finger blast the fuck out of her flesh petals or whatever she calls them to dudes like taking a shit in the fucking office bathroom.
I'm surprised that she hangs the panties up.
She does. She's
Because in
very
ours,
fastidious
our
about it.
protagonist was just rubbing shit right in her vagina.
Oh no, that comes later.
Oh, okay.
All
Then why
right.
is she so concerned about the panties touching the ground? Isn't ground panties like objectively healthier
no.
than
Because
raw
if she
shit?
leaves anything on the floor, then people who see the out of order sign can look under the door, and if there's some panties on the floor inside,
Oh, it'll give
that's
away her
sketch as
position.
shit.
Yeah.
right? So she's got to like hang the panties up, and then she's got to do the like gynecologist table leg stirrups thing.
Oh, you think she's sitting down with her feet up? I thought
No,
she was
she
like,
is. There's a
standing
very
on it,
descriptive.
squatted
No,
down.
no. There's
Oh,
a very
okay.
descriptive paragraph
Gotcha.
about it. So anyway, she does this. She's been doing it for a while. She's like a gross fucking bitch. Sorry, not kink
So is
shaming.
Leah. Oh, I'm kink shaming her. All right, it's pretty shameful to have this kink.
All right. So some of the things
When
that I
did he get in
highlighted
here?
in this, he's been in here for like 30 minutes.
Did you notice him coming?
Who, Dirty Mike?
No, Ed.
Oh, I forgot about Ed entirely. What up, Ed? How you been, man?
You gotta be on mic.
No, it's fine. There's only one mic
It's cool.
over
The mic
there.
is picking him up.
Okay. Anyway,
Peanut gallery mic.
so here are just a few strange things that I highlighted because I was confused about it. So at location 67, there was a thin squirting flatus, which is the singular of flatulence, which is just a like squeaky fart, basically. In Latin. I looked it up. Don't worry.
Wait,
It's
what is
squeaky fart
what
in
is
Latin?
Sector 67 or whatever she was just in, or location 67? What is that?
Oh no,
That's
no,
on the
that's
Kindle.
on the Kindle.
That's how
Oh,
they do
okay.
pages.
Oh,
Yeah,
I thought
yeah.
it was like this story was in a secret government facility and like I missed a thing.
It's just like totally a boring accounting office or some
Yeah,
shit.
okay.
The next thing I have is at location 142. She rubbed as hard as she could, violently working her piss cave, which I was like, I don't know if I
Wait,
would
your piss
describe
doesn't come out of a cave.
Well, it does. It's just
What's
a
a-
really small cave
It's
on the
very,
top of the
very
cavernous
small
mountain.
Cave.
On top of the big cave.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then I highlighted location 243 that she calls it a flesh flower. And then at 288, she calls it a cock wallet.
All great band names. All fantastic
Cock
band
wallet
names.
is great, but there's a lot of cocks
At location
already.
386, we hear she let her hands slip into the sick swamp. The warmth and grossness pushed an ecstasy, an excited ecstasy to the edges of her soul. She pulled her hand out, coated in filth, and slipped it into her shirt, smearing it over her breast, which is fucking gross. She's
Yeah.
literally
It's getting on her shirt.
She's
She
literally
eats it, too.
smearing shit onto her titties.
She definitely.
Well, she
eats it.
definitely she smears it onto her titties in our book, but she takes all her clothes off first, and she takes a shower immediately after. Like she's very
yeah,
practical
every time
about
she
it.
takes a shower.
Yeah. The next location I highlighted, which is just a few pages later, is his carnal serpent slithered and slewed through the reeking bog of sexcrement that covered her thighs and filled her erotic swamp, which is awful.
What
and this
is
person,
an erotic swamp?
I don't know, but this person
I don't know.
has
Sexcrement
ruined-
is my favorite word I've ever heard.
You've never heard that word before?
That's a perfect band name.
It is
Sexcrement
great.
is
Yeah.
I'm
perfect
90%
band name.
sure that's
It's a real
already
band
a
All
already.
right, I'm gonna Google it. See if sex.
Look up like Spotify or something, but yeah,
Sexcrement.
keep going here.
Yeah. And then the last location I have in this book is he mined for brown gold. And that made me giggle, so I highlighted it.
Now, who was it the woman was the protagonist in yours?
Always.
It
all
always
three of
is,
them.
yeah.
It's all about
But the dudes are always like down. Like they're always like as much as every
Alright. If
protagonist
not
seems to be
starting
ashamed.
it, like initiating it.
yeah.
In mine, almost all of the dudes, well, like the chick would notice something and then she would be like, hey,
Yeah.
like, you know, and then they would do the nasty shit thing.
Oh, okay. See, in
So-
ours, a plumber enters the room as she's covered in shit later to
Yeah,
fix
it's
the toilet that was
hotel,
clogged.
maintenance
Right,
who
and then he
shows up.
fucks
It's
her
a
in the
plumber.
shit.
Yeah, exactly.
right.
Except that's not, and then it's like nothing happened after, and she's thinking about,
Oh yeah,
when's
then it
Malcolm
ends.
getting
That's
back?
the ending, by the way.
Scorch.
Sexcrement is my favorite metal band on thrashedandbang.com.
Oh man.
Why
Wait,
should we
will
listen
you two
to
be
you?
quiet for 2 seconds, please? Scorch.
Scorch,
I would.
shut up.
Oh my God. I did not say that. That was Ophelia.
She said, shut up.
No, I didn't. I said you need to pipe down.
Hey,
Scorch.
not to be a dick, but them talking wouldn't bother you guys if you wore the headphones.
I love him.
I don't want to mess with my hair. I mean, look at her hair.
Yeah,
It's so
you guys
big.
have killer hair.
You motherfuckers, I am only trying to say, Scorch, I am empty and I need another drink. That's literally all I was
too.
trying
Oh.
to say.
Scorch.
How much more podcast?
Scorch.
I
will
have
you
2 more books to go
please-
through.
Shit. Okay. Oh wait, Dirty Mike's gonna get
Are you going to make it correctly, though?
You mean too much
Dirty
whiskey and not
Mike,
enough drink?
please make me a drink as well, please.
Please don't put your penis in our drinks.
I can't guarantee.
Scorch, is Dirty Mike that kind of dirty?
To be honest, to be 100% honest
You're
with you,
such a fucking
I can't be
Jew.
honest.
That's
But
my
She
cup.
smeared the repellent goo onto her upper lip, over her nose,
Oh,
and
no,
her
no,
mouth.
No,
The biting,
ma'am.
bitter taste
Okay.
caused a spam of bliss as she thrust her fingers deep up inside her slick and steaming vagina. The winds inside her became like a tropical storm,
Yeah,
whipped up to
yeah.
a frenzy by the abhorrent mess and sexual pleasure.
Oh, I highlighted something in the second book that made me think of you.
Uh-oh.
No, you'll totally understand
Did
when
she
I read
burp?
it.
Because I burp a lot.
Yeah, we know. No.
Sorry.
So this bitch goes to a club. So in the second book, we're at Party Pooper now.
Okay.
So the second
Oh,
book.
can I read the description?
No,
for
you
Party
already
Pooper?
fucking did.
Not for Party
Yes,
Pooper.
you did.
No, that one.
You did.
You're a liar. You're a
Matt
liar.
Berry,
I
aka
love
Leafy,
it.
back me
It's
up.
a Party
You
Pooper.
did
You
read
did.
the thing
I
of
read it
Party
You
for
Pooper.
dump
interrupted our
truckin'.
latest broadcast and read the description of Party Pooper, and then we went back to.
Well, hold on. What happens in Party Pooper?
Okay,
What
so
happened to the candle?
we took it off like 400 episodes ago. Anyway, so Party Pooper is about this bitch. What was her name?
Leah.
Leah. No.
Oh, that's ours.
No, yours was Nina.
Nina. Yeah, Nina and James. So Nina is at a club. She's got her little hip flask with her because she's a bad girl. And she's just hanging out in the bathroom because that's where all the rich girls shit or something. She's into
Oh,
it.
we have girl on girl shit here?
No.
Oh.
No. It's just her in the bathroom swigging from her little flask,
You're not into that.
enjoying the smells of
Right?
shit from other rich chicks. And then some fat bitch bangs on the door and is like, "Get out of the stall, I gotta pee." And so she leaves and goes to the bar. But before she leaves the stall, she notices there's a camera underneath the toilet lid. So she's like, that's hot. I'm gonna find
Oh,
out who
you
did
told
that.
me about this one on the way here.
I wrote
Yeah,
the description.
So she wanders over to the bar and she's like, "Hey, who owns this club?" And the bartender's like, "I don't know. It's some dude over in the VIP section." So she wanders over to the VIP section and she's like, "Hey, is that the owner of the club? I need to speak to him." And the
you.
bouncer, I'm this one. Yeah. Thank you
Thanks.
very much, Dirty Mike.
All right.
So she's like, "I need to speak to the owner of the club. I have an important message for him." And the bouncer's like, "Yeah, no, you don't." And she's like, "No, I do. Tell him I'm interested in his filmography or something like that." She's like, "Oh, I'm interested in his videos."
Oh, okay. She's
Wink,
dropping
wink.
camera hints.
Yeah, and the guy's like, and she's like, "I would really love to be involved in his videos." And so he like waves her over to this dude named James, and he's like, "Oh, you know, da 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 do." And so then they go fuck in the shit in the toilet in the club, and they're like doing all sorts of nasty shit. And that's when I noticed that this woman loves to use the word ballooning for penises.
We didn't have ballooning.
No, she's used it at least 2 or 3 times.
We only had one penis, and it came in right at the end. It was a lot of solo poo rubbing.
Oh, it was the
most of this
weapon
was-
of love. Is that what it was called?
Yeah, yours seems to be a lot of sex in bathrooms, where ours
Yes.
like is the woman literally just sticks her head in a bowl full of like liquidy shit and just like stays underwater for a while, like
You
meditating.
have that highlighted because she has
It- It
toilet
comes
paper
out,
stuck
it's
in
in
her
her
hair.
and she like talks about it like it's great.
Okay. This drink is like straight whiskey.
The
Dirty
peanut
Mike.
gallery is talking too much and not involving
Just put
themselves
on the
into our
headphones. You,
podcast.
won't, you can't hear them with the headphones.
I was just.
It's good. I like
I was
it.
just thinking.
No, they need to talk about the podcast.
Well,
instead of
I was just remembering a story that Ford's neighbor told us one time. It's related to scat. I'm trying to remember. We had to have been in like maybe 5th or 6th grade.
Like
And
President Ford?
no, my buddy's name's Ford.
Oh, okay.
Ford Wilson.
Ford. Well, okay, I wasn't gonna give last names, but
Wait, is that a
You already
somebody
gave
name?
out
watches-
Dirty Mike's name.
Is he the one who did
yes,
the soundtrack?
because his
Yeah.
first name is Dirty and
Yeah,
last
it's
name.
Mike, comma, Dirty. Yeah.
No,
Uh,
it would be Dirty, comma Mike, right?
yeah.
Last
Wouldn't.
name first.
No,
No.
If you,
You
could
go
put
la-
the comma in, you
No,
put
no,
the-
no. It
Dirty
would be
Mike. Mike would be
comma
his
Dirty.
Oh,
last
he's
name.
not Mike Dirty. He's Dirt. No.
God damn
Sweetheart.
it. Oof.
Mike,
Anyway.
Mike Dirty's his DJ name.
Anyway, the neighbor told us this story of this chick he went to fuck one time, and he went over to the chick's place, and she had a bunch of plastic wrap all over all of her furniture, and he was like, "Yo, what's up with that?" And she was like, "Oh, I'm just a neat freak." And he was like, "All right."
And
So
you were like, "I left the oven on."
no.
Sorry.
No. I mean, this guy was a savage. So they start smashing on the couch and stuff, and then she had pulled out a butt plug, and she was like, "You should put this in." And he was like, "All right, that's kind of weird." But he put the butt plug in, And he was, he just kept smashing. And then she was like, let me know like right before you come. And he was like, all right, I'm gonna come. And then she like yanked it out, and he apparently like shit everywhere.
Oh.
I
Yeah,
knew
that's
it-
what happens when you pull butt plugs out quickly.
Yeah,
Our
and-
I was
viewers love this.
confused.
yeah. No, and so then he was like naturally like, oh my
No.
God, I'm so sorry, like holy shit. And she, as he said, she looked at him, gave him a wink, and then just started rolling around in it, and then he ran out of there.
Now,
That-
maybe I'm a prude, but I've never been handed a butt plug. If someone hands me a butt plug and says, put this in, I have no idea who they want me to put it in. Like, I would have...
It's-
That's the fun part, to see where your instinct leads
I
you.
would have immediately put it in that person,
Right. Well,
Really,
sure.
this
even
in
if they were
me?
wearing like latex dominatrix gear and they were like, put this in.
Well, then you have a different context,
But you
Context
don't-
everything.
It's contextless in this case.
Yeah, I thought like we were both like it's a stranger I met on the street and we're both fully clothed and they hand a butt plug to me and they're like, put this in. I would assume they meant in them. Because how do you reach?
It's pretty easy to put shit
No,
in your
if
butt.
they say put this in to you,
well,
you
actually,
just turn around.
it's a grammatical thing, because if you say
Shh.
put this in you, it's a command, and therefore the you is implied
Ah.
because it's in what? Stop looking at me like that.
I'm just watching.
Okay. Anyway,
You are really close to me. That is weird.
right? Isn't it?
Why is
Slide the
that
fuck over.
weird?
Just
I'm
framing
you
wise.
are
not like
way
I'm,
too far.
Not like I'm repulsed by you or anything, but it's
Okay.
I need to burp.
This
I would
podcast
just
is going
like-
to turn into a porno.
This is why am I on the lonely
You
side
wish
of the table then?
you wish Scorch.
You get your Max experience. You just get to watch people go at it.
I'm so much better than the Max experience. Okay.
What?
For sure. For sure.
These tits do not belong
What's
on
the
the Max
ma-
experience.
What's the Max experience?
Just
it-
watching
it's-
other
Pornography?
people.
It's a
fuck?
joke about him watching
Oh.
two of his friends fuck. They all get a hotel room together.
Who?
Oh,
Max.
this guy Max. Yo,
The Serbian bastard.
Oh, that really happened
Yes.
with Max
Yes.
that we know.
Yes,
Okay,
he
I
went to a
thought you
hotel
were-
There
room
have
with
been other times as well.
Wait,
but
he
we
went to
don't
a
need
hotel
go
room with
into that.
you?
No.
Oh,
No, this
no.
particular, the hotel room fucking is not about us.
between Max and Ford's neighbor, you guys have weird friends.
Well,
Yeah,
now
I
you're
only
here,
hang out with
so-
weird fucks. My friend's name is Dirty Mike. If you didn't
Dirty
understand.
Mike made us a drink without question, without any kind of argument whatsoever.
He did. He was.
He was
a
almost.
really,
He was.
really
Dirty Mike was a little
sweet,
too eager.
Really caring dude. He probably roofied us. It's totally fine.
For sure, he did. Are you kidding? He's been talking about gangbangs all night.
Well, I just assumed he meant you.
I didn't know you had roofies. Dirty Mike, get me a drink.
He's like, your long hair is good enough.
Yeah.
From the back,
From
I
the
can't
back,
see
it
your
doesn't-
beard.
Ironically, we're looking. There's a picture of a tranny on my Facebook feed, and we were just passing it, and
Can I talk about the
Dirty
fucking
Mike was
books
just
that
like,
I
"I'd
read?
smash." So
Because
How many trainees are you friends with?
so many, dude. So many trannies.
Oh,
anyway,
are we talking about?
actually, that's an
um,
offensive
We're
term.
talking about party.
You're
Leah
supposed to say
shuddered as
transgendered.
she felt the huge sex weapon. That's what she calls
Are
the
we?
male
listen.
genitals.
Okay,
Um,
so remember how she said she really liked writing well-written, fun, phantasmagasmic shit?
Oh yeah, Fawn.
Remember how
yeah.
she said that? So I highlighted this that said, so it was, it's supposed to say it landed with a plop, but it says it landed with ha plop. And that made me
Yeah,
laugh a little
that's-
bit
All right,
more. And I literally have a note on it that just says great proofreading.
I have the worst one, which is I shouldn't have. OF.
Well, I thought it was
Yeah.
like shouldn't.
I
of.
shouldn't have.
No,
I
shouldn't
I
have.
should not have.
Now that's something that was an adventure for me because I haven't read a lot of the Kindle stuff like this. So like I didn't know. Does Kindle not indent
They
their
don't.
paragraphs, or is that this lady being like, I'm not indenting this paragraph?
That is that lady not.
Oh,
inventing the
fuck
paragraph.
this lady. This lady sucks.
Because I read a lot on Kindle, and plenty of authors not only indent their paragraphs, but
So she talks about a golden elixir.
the P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I need to make a golden elixir in a minute.
Oh,
So
also in Party Pooper, she met a guy who is a self-professed sex rapper, who apparently
No,
raps about sex.
Isn't there
Is that
another
what they
one
all
that's
do?
entirely about the rappers, or was this the rapper one?
This is not the rapper.
okay,
one.
did you
Oh,
read the
and
rapper
then she
one?
also said that she was, quote, creaming the lips with James's shit. So they go into his private bathroom because this dude who's into shit and putting the cameras up puts the party like back at his place. and they go into his private bathroom and he shits in the toilet, and then she is like on her hands and knees in front of it and like scoops his shit out and is like creaming her pussy lips with
Yeah,
it
they
and,
do
like,
that in ours
wiping it
too.
over
Yeah,
her mouth.
Yeah.
Mia
And
does
then
that.
she's like fucking sucking his dick when it's got shit all
Yes,
over it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
She's
then
eating it,
they
and then
fuck,
he's eating
They
it.
fuck, right? And then he comes in her, and then she's like squirting his cum out.
Yeah,
and
with
he
the
eats
shit
her
all.
pussy.
Whoa, that didn't happen to ours. That's too much.
No,
Whoa.
no, no, that happened. He's
How-
like
Wasn't
eating her
ready.
pussy while she's cumming his cum and her cum and their shit on her pussy, and now it's on his face, and it's just like I literally was reading this, and I was just like, I would rather go back to reading Harry Potter than this
Now-
because this is fucking.
This is what I don't
disgusting.
understand.
And what?
How do you get over, like, how are they getting over the smell?
They like the smell. That's
They-
their kink.
they
Yeah,
like
That
it,
is-
but they make a
like
point-
it, and it's disgusting.
They make a point to say it sucks, but they love
It's
it.
disgusting.
Oh, they do make a point frequently of using the sort of language which sounds like it's bad, but it's implied that it's good.
so foul,
Oh, it
Um,
was
right?
She
so
has meaty
dirty.
lips.
Yeah, repellent.
Oh,
All right,
it was just
I got a question.
visceral and gross.
She has
the grossness of it was
meaty
amazing.
lips.
Probably
Is
'cause
that
her
an
pussy-
attractive quality.
No, it's because her pussy has dysentery or something. It's all
No.
swollen.
Meaty.
No, meaty lips are just when you are like, I guess if you're fat and you gain weight in your vagina lips. You know what I'm talking about. You've seen it on the internet. It's roast beef, dude. Roast beef is meaty
Oh,
lips.
roast beef. Oh, where it's like wrinkly,
Yeah.
kind of
It looks like
stretched
fucking
out.
roast beef.
I was picturing like thick lips, not meaty. Oh,
Yeah,
all
like it just
right.
looks like.
Shut up,
You know.
Scorch.
Kind of interchangeable.
Shut
Yeah.
up. We're gonna talk as long as
Hold
we want
on.
to
No,
talk.
we gotta
Okay,
get
no,
this
no, no.
third story.
So the
Oh,
third
we're still
story
going on
is-
this
All
one.
right, I'm
No, no,
gonna
wait,
read
hold
the
on.
description
In the
of
second story, when they go to his
image.
private party,
Yes.
is everyone there pooping on each other, or is
No.
it still he's the only pooper?
He's the pooper. It's his party. He's like, oh, I need to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Wink, wink, wink. And so he leaves, and then 10 seconds later, specifically, she follows him as he like greets his way through the room and is like, "Thanks for coming to my party.
Yeah.
Good to
It's,
see you,
yeah,
bro."
it's good that he
Like,
shakes
all that
hands
stuff.
before he does the
Oh
poop
yeah,
stuff.
for sure. And then he gets to his room, and then she gets to his room, and he's set up one of the little toilet cams in his own apartment. So they're just sitting on his bed watching other people piss and shit in his toilet.
And they're like, this rocks.
Kissing, they're like making out, like rubbing each other's genitals and shit.
Is this party pooper?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh, I might need to go to the bathroom." And then they go to the bathroom together, and it's like this fancy ass bathroom. And then he shits in the toilet, and then she grabs it and smears it everywhere, and they fuck, and then smear it all on him, and then they're like, "Oh, we're so dirty," and then they take a shower.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
There's
There's
a
a shower
few
in that one
showers
too.
in this one.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess she's trying to be a good role model.
Always
That's
shower,
the thing,
but
is that
they
all the
already-
stories take a weird stance that the poop thing is somewhat shameful. Like everyone's always cleaning themselves up after. Everyone's always hiding it from someone.
But poop is like
That's-
waste. Poop is literally the stuff that your body cannot process.
Oh, trust me, I'm anti-poop. I'm not on the pro-poop side. I'm just saying it's a weird stance for something that's about the poop
You're
thing.
making it weird because you're like analyzing it in such a way that you're
I thought the
perceiving
poop thing
these
was already
characters.
weird. I didn't know I was making it weird. My bad.
Well, no, listen. To us, as like semi-normal functioning members of society, except for fucking Ophelia, poop is not something that we all find sexy. Put that fucking back. Anyway, poop is not
She
something
is
we
so
find sexy,
fucked up.
right? But if
Who
we're in the
is?
mindset of someone who is going
Nobody.
to buy this book, someone's like, I'm into poop, and I'm going to read this book because I'm into poop. You have to look at it from their perspective.
Yeah,
So I think
they
them-
identify with the hiding the poop.
well, not only that, but it's like I am into this, but I recognize that there is some sort of cleanliness that must be achieved
Yeah.
at some point during this, right? Because like what killed so many people is the fact that no one made the connection between diseases like cholera and dysentery and the fact that the latrines were too close to the water source.
Oh,
Or like not washing your hands and preparing food and like getting
I thought that you meant
fecal
they came from poop
particles.
fucking, and I was like, is that where cholera came from?
no.
No!
But the whole
Why
thing
are you
is,
doing this? Look at what they're doing!
Oh, we're gonna see.
Ooh,
some poop.
cum slut.
Ah!
Those are cute panties.
Are
You
you
should
gonna?
get some of those.
Are you gonna?
All right, if you're gonna scream, I'm turning the mic away from your
Our
face.
viewers see this?
No,
I'm not gonna scream anymore. I
Okay.
promise.
I'm gonna move
Can
this away.
our viewers see what you're
No, of
searching
course
right
not.
now?
I'm
All
not
right,
trying to
so
get
I'm
us
gonna
kicked off
tell our
YouTube.
listeners right now because they can't see, and our viewers because they also can't see. So what is happening is Scorch is looking up scat fetish porn
Fat
right
bitch
now.
with huge
And
tits,
there's
shits, and
thin
smears.
girlfriend eats shit from boyfriend's asshole.
No.
Girl shits on
You
dude's
missed the
cock and
best
gives a
one.
really hot scat blowjob.
Oh my
on
god,
video.
the one on the end looks like caramel.
Girl takes huge huge logs of shit at a restaurant on video.
It's awful. I
All
can't.
right, Scorch.
can't. That
can you
hurt me.
play one,
Okay.
but don't
No.
show our viewers.
No,
I'm
I
talking
can't.
into
So
the mic. I
remember-
can
wait.
hear how loud I am. 'cause
No,
I
hey,
have
we're on a
Ophelia,
timeline, okay? We got
Ophelia,
Xmortis.
Look at my eyes. Look in my eyes. Remember that time when I said that we were pre-gaming for Xmortis? I'd rather like to get to Xmortis before it closes. So I'm gonna go through my third book, and then we're gonna go to
Hey.
Xmortis.
Quel
All right, she's not speaking English
Canadian.
anymore.
She's speaking French.
I'm
It's
speaking
fine.
French because there's a Canadian here.
Oh, it's so called
A Canadian.
We heard South African, but apparently it was lied to.
What is this?
That looks like a maple leaf.
What? Hold on. What's the third book? Let's keep.
I just thought that was a
The third
Canadian
book
weed
is Dump
leaf.
Truckin', and I would just like to be completely straightforward with our readers at this point. Our readers, our listeners at this point. Sorry, I'm the reader. You guys are the listeners. There were actually 4 books in this series, and I regret to inform you all that I literally could not stomach a 4th book
Yeah, you know what it's like too.
in a row. Yeah, but I read 3 of them.
Yeah,
in
I
a row.
couldn't do that. That's too much.
It was.
Yeah.
Too many golden
commend you for
showers,
reaching
which is about
3.
to happen if we don't close up soon.
I'm a dedicated reader.
It should be mentioned it's a thematic franchise too, not a sequential. So you can jump in at any point. You can drop in at any
You
point.
could drop.
Alright.
I mean, we,
Bombs
Poseidon will
away.
give you
We-
his kiss whenever you ask.
I mean,
for
we've
it.
been going for like 50 minutes, so I mean, we don't necessarily have to. Presumably the third, unless you have some juicy stuff.
What
the third book
time
is the
is
same.
it?
It's 10:08.
Oh, dude, we've still got like most of an hour to get
Okay.
there.
Sure.
What's juicy? Give
The
me a
shit
quote
nuggets.
and I'll read it.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, just get to the good juicy bits.
So it starts off with a chick lying in the bed of her pickup truck on a starry night. The stars are awe-inspiring. They're twinkling across the midnight heavens. It's very poetic. And then she shits in her hand and smears it on the bed of her truck and rolls around in it. And she's also
this dump
finger
trucking?
blasting. Yeah, she's also finger blasting. Oh, did I mention she was at the dump? The
She's
town
at
dump.
the
No,
dump.
she was just
Oh,
in the truck. I
no,
thought she
no,
was on like
is
makeout point.
No, she is also at the town dump, reveling in
The filth.
and the tainted air around her. And so she's like, rubbing her bean or whatever. And
I think it's called flicking the bean.
I would never flick my clitoris. That sounds
that sounds
awful.
really painful, but I think that's what it's called.
Well, yeah, that is a euphemism for female masturbation. Also, the term she likes to use is jilling, apparently, which I kind of get because, like, jacking off.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
a
okay.
counterpart
and then
to
it's
that.
like, oh, you're jilling yourself.
She's
It's like,
flicking the
oh.
bean.
Right,
You guys
yeah.
don't do it like that?
Actually, it's
Vagina
better,
DJ.
It's a gentler flick with the index finger than the ring finger. if you-
Gotta be hard. Get a lot
no,
of
no, no.
force behind it.
Penises are hard. If your
Yeah, but
vagina is hard, it's
if the-
probably been dead for over 12 hours. Anyway.
Rigor
Call
mortis.
that well done.
Anyway.
We are good night.
What?
Isn't our time up?
What? No, we got to hear about dump truck and she was in the dump. Oh, you know what?
How
I
many
should have
And
known
then
about
this
the dump.
other guy shows up and he's jacking off into the dump.
But he's
the-
also shitting.
How many fucking edibles did you give her? Jesus Christ.
Like a third. Of
Yeah, we gave her.
I just have drinkables.
I had half of one. And I've also been drinking all night, and I'm still more sober than you
All
are.
right.
So how does that
I'll
feel?
get you another cookie.
Bring it on, bitch.
You're just gonna bail. on
You
the end of
bitch,
the
you have
show?
another one? You said you had none.
You're like, I'll
You're
just-
dead
It's
to
the
me.
other.
Like, you
I
guys
o- I
finish the
only
show.
have
I'll
them
get
for
out of
her.
here.
What was
Do
that?
you mind? That was Jasmine's dish.
It was your princess's
Oh,
dog
who
water.
gives a fuck? Wait, did it spill?
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
okay, then who cares?
She just
was-
jostled it. She jimmied
I
it real hard.
jimmied your dog water. I'm sorry.
How dare you?
All right, I don't know what these cookies are. They might be gone.
Oh my
All right,
goodness. How many
you're a
how many
mess.
bleeding hearts are we talking? What's up?
No, listen,
Four,
I still have to
4.5 out of 5 bleeding hearts. Good night.
No.
Hit
If
her like
I-
on the butt.
Well, she's not
Yeah.
standing up.
All
Well,
right,
not
I
right now,
can't-
but keep it in the back.
I can't find cookies, but I found elf ears if you want them.
Anyway, so this bitch is like caught totally by surprise by this weirdo who's masturbating and pooping next to her pickup truck at the dump. So she's like, whoa, wait, was that maybe like my soulmate or something? I should find him. So she spends a lot of time researching this dude, and she can't find anything about some weirdo who likes to poop and jerk off at the dump. So she just decides to take another trip to the dump with some dump stuff. I don't know. And she dumps it off, and apparently she gets like a receipt, and the attendant for the park
Is the guy?
is a guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so he gives her receipt for like the stuff that she dumped, but he wrote his like number, and he was like, overpass 3C, midnight, right side, or something.
I
So
love
she,
how they're
like-
making plans to rendezvous in other gross areas. That's the most
Yeah.
adorable thing
So they
in the
like
world.
literally meet in an underpass of a highway, and she like shits in her truck and like smears it all over herself and like jerks off, and he poops and they smear it everywhere, and it's fucking gross. And the lines that I highlighted from this are: she shifted in her seat, the shitty coating on her unwiped ass tickling her between the cheeks. That
I
was
don't
the
know why
first one.
unwiped ass just makes me giggle.
Because you're like mentally 12 years old.
It's so to the point,
I'm
though. You
giggling.
know,
I'm
Bitch.
giggling.
it's like let's
You're
not
also
dress it
mentally
up and say it's
12 years
like
old.
dirty or horrendous. You know, it's like it's just unwiped. You know,
Yeah,
Unwiped.
Her
It's
poopy
very
butthole.
salt to
It's
the earth.
succinct.
These are about the common people.
right. And the other thing I have is a quote that just says, this is completely out of context, by the way, how I'm reading this. And it literally just says, it plopped onto belly.
The best band name of the night, by the way.
That's.
Plopped on the belly.
Plopped on the belly.
I think sex rapper is a better name.
They're on my head.
Or ballooning. Or flesh flower sounds like a pretty sweet black metal
That
project.
is really good.
You're
yeah.
doing it backwards.
Are we doing black metal?
No. Okay. We're gonna just do that. No, that was horrible. Yeah, that's way better. That's way better. Minus the coughing. You can't do that shit on stage.
I need to drink more honey water.
You just need proper technique, bro.
Anyway, in conclusion, these books were fucking awful. I never want to read another
Yeah.
I was
scatological
laughing
romance.
Yeah.
so much.
I was mostly disgusted, and it's pretty hard to gross
It was
me
pretty
out.
gross.
The only thing that grosses me out is boogers, so I was giggling through this whole thing.
I'm glad it happened, though.
We
So
gotta
I'm
why
glad I
don't you
read it.
just smear some shit on her face while she's not sleeping?
No, I don't
and
like
find-
it. The
I'm
only
not
thing
into
I
that.
don't like
Like,
is tentacles and
funny
reverse
she thinks
harem.
that
I don't like
is.
this.
I'm not into that, though. You know, I don't. It's
You
about
don't-
what
you
I
don't
want
have to kiss her.
It's-
at that moment.
just
Can
rub
you
poo on
go
her and be
without
go
like
home.
So
10
now we're
minutes?
elves.
What?
Now we're elves.
Oh my god. All right, I hope Xmortis is ready for us because I
We're
feel
not
Dear
ready for
God.
them.
really bad for them at this point
Here's
in
to
time.
people watching. Good night.
Here's to sticking it out and listening
Fire
to us
buried
talk.
to the hilt. PayPal.
We
Oh
don't-
wait, I can't say my PayPal name
we
because it's my
haven't
whole
even
full name with middle
friggin-
name.
Okay, we haven't even made the shirt, so no one's paying us jack shit right now.
But I
You
have
can
the
pay
design.
us if you want, though.
I have the design. I need the investment to get the shirts made.
we will
good night.
figure it out.
We're gonna get
Anyway.
a Squarespace.
Ophelia.
Squarespace.com/between the covers.
Scorch, will you mute her mic, please? Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you'll join us next time. Keep an eye on our page
All right,
for
if you really
updates.
muted me, I'm gonna be mad. Did he really mute me?
And
No.
Mr. Canada. All right.
Tune in next
Like
time.
and subscribe. 5 stars. 5 bleeding hearts. Good night.